everybody as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
76.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Lucy.
On play action, it's Bortles. Lets it go for Nelson. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play for the Vikings on 3rd down. 43 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
He's going to loft one deep left side. And this is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Marquise Lee, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Again to Elliott. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Kill. Here we go, 46. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now out comes Minnesota. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Here we go.
They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. And able to find Kirk complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Malik Collins able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On play action, now Bortles. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter. Throwing his Bortles on third down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Tavon Austin hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now 14-0.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Prescott on 1st down. For Kittle here, it's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now he's flushed out right, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And that's Elliott, complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. It's their quarterback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, Elliott. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys in the cornerback position.
Here's Prescott, and that is incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due. And that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call a sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now a play fake. Bortles. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
To throw is Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fighting his way through contact. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Prescott from the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle down, but a nice little gain. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Again, it's Elliott. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He can run for it, and he will. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down. A first down carry by Elliott. Shelling through the defense. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He may try and run for this. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
There we go, kill. Got it.
Prescott to throw this time. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Here we go, 47.
From the red zone now, Prescott. It's caught on the right side, Williams. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Throwing, Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Caught by Nelson left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Bortles. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Bortles. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Trips left. Hey, spread left.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. On first down, Bortles. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
11.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. From the gun, it's Bortles. Flush to his right. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
46.
Out of his end zone, Prescott. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Here's Austin. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Still moving. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That good for 19 and a first down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch with all.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. It's a foot race. The 30, the 20, and it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
The give is to Elliott. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They come out here in the eye. Now Elliott. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. On the sneak, it's Prescott. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And Bailey able to knock it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there. Bortles to lead. 44 yards.
39, Lucy. 372.
Back to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Prescott now, perfect since the second half started. 7-7. It's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Now one more shot at it. Obviously, again, they've got to go for the end zone.
Well, we've seen it happen before. How about Aaron Rodgers throughout his career? He seems to pull it off about every other week. But if I'm the defense, I'm rushing the quarterback and making him move away from his throwing arm. That makes it a little bit tougher to get it downfield.
And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play.